Hello amazing people, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a quick tutorial on how to draw different hairline peaks, which include the regular hairline peaks, the low tempo and the widow peaks. If this is your first time coming by my channel, I say a big welcome to you. Please don't forget to like, to share and subscribe to my channel. So let's dive right into the video. We'll be starting with the regular hairline peak, and we're working with tape rule, ruler, pencil and my eraser. I'll be marking out 13 inch on this paper. This is 13 inches wide, making sure it's 13 inches wide because I want to construct a 13 by 4 frontal net. I'll be marking out 4 inches long on both sides. I'll also be marking out the midpoints of the 13 inches with a 6.5, and I'll be connecting the midpoint to the 4 inches, trying to form a C cut or a C, or looks as if you're drawing a C. So you'll be connecting both ends in this manner, as you can see. So I try to erase that part so I can achieve a neat draft. So this is what it looks like after connecting the 2 points together. So confirming with my tape rule to check if it's 13 inch. As you can see, this is 13 inches wide. I'll be marking out the midpoint, which is 6.5. That's 6.5 of 13 inch. So from that midpoint, I'll be marking out 2 inch away from the midpoint, and also marking another 2 inch away. That is making, so it's just like dividing the 6.5 inch into 2 inches from each other. So I'll be connecting these points together from both ends, as you can see. So I'll be connecting the 2 inch back to the 2 inch, trying to form a C cut. Yeah, so this is how you tend to draw a regular hairline peak, as you can see. So that place wasn't connected well, so I tried to readjust that part. You also do the same thing to the other end. Connect the 2 inch to the other 2 inch, like you're trying to draw a letter C. And this is what the regular hairline peak look like, and this is what everyone uses. This is just the regular hairline peak, and you know there are different hairline peaks. So we'll be drawing the widow peak hairline, and the same pattern which you used to draft out the 13 by 4, that is what we'll be using here, marking out 6.5, which is the midpoint. And also from the midpoint, I'll be marking out 2 inches. And from that 2 inch that I marked out, from the 2 inch, I'll also be marking out 2.5 this time around instead of 2 inch. To the other side, you do the same thing, you mark out 2 inch. Then from that 2 inch also, you mark out 2.5 inch. As you can see, this is what I've done. So now, taking from the midpoint to that 2 inch, I'm marking out 1 inch, which is the midpoint, and also to the other end, you mark out 1 inch. So now, based on how wide or how wide you want it to be, for me it should be a little bit exaggerated. I took about 3/4 inch. Now to the 2.5 inch I marked out the midpoint. I also marked out about 3/4 inch. I did the same to the other end. You do the same thing, mark out the midpoints. Now we'll be connecting from that 1 inch of the midpoint for that 2 inch. We'll be connecting it like you want to form a V shape. This is how we get our widow peak, and if you watch, you can see the widow peak always pops out like a V shape in front. So I try to connect both midpoints, as you can see. Then from that midpoint of the midpoint, which is from the 2.5 inch, I also connect it to the 2.5 inch. That is the midpoint of the 2.5 inch, as you can see. Then I connect to the other side. As you can see, this is what you look like when connecting. You do the same thing to the other end. You connect it, do the same exact thing. You connect to this point, then do the same thing. This is how to achieve the widow peak. You know, now everyone is rocking their wigs in different peaks: widow peak, low tempo hairline, regular hairline. It's just based on preference, and this has been the new trend. The new trend now, no one is going with that boring regular hairline peak. Yeah, and some people just naturally have this hairline peak, so trying to imitate it. So I try to correct, give that sharp end, and this is what the widow peak looks like. So let's go to a widow peak with a low tempo peak hairline. and this is a little bit exaggerated from the other one. It's still the same widow pick, drafting out the same pattern, 2.5, 2 inches, the same way, the same pattern, just like the last one. But this time around, from the 2.5 inches, I won't be marking the midpoint of the 2.5 inch, unlike the widow pick, which I marked the midpoint of the 2.5 inch. I will just be marking the midpoint for the 2 inch, which is the 1 inch as the midpoint, and I'll be marking out 3/4 inch out of the midpoint. I'll be marking 3/4 inch out, as longer than the midpoint. So I will just be connecting, and also do the same thing for the 2.5 inch on the spot which I marked the 2.5 inch. I'll mark out 3/4, like you can see. So that's what I'll be doing. I will just then connect this point together. Just watch out and see the way I'll be connecting it. So you'll be watching the way I do this connection for the midpoint. Just watch the way I connected this, and this is a widow pick with a low tempo airline. So watch the way I'll be drafting this. This is almost similar to the last one, that's last widow pick I drew out, but this is a little bit different. This is a little bit exaggerated based on how you want your widow pick to pop. Some wants it exaggerated, some just want it just a little bit. For some people's hairline, natural hairline, their widow pick is exaggerated and popping, while for some it's not really exaggerated. So this widow pick, you could pick anyone based on your preference. For me, I really don't like exaggerated. This is a widow pick but a low tempo hairline. So I hope you are getting what we are doing. So this is what the widow pick was low tempo hairline looks like. So next will be the low tempo pick hairline. The same method we'll be using 13/4, just as the previous way. We draft our 13/4 for the regular hairline, marking out the 6.5 inch as the midpoint. From the 6.5 inch, I'll be marking 2 inch, and from the 2 inch I marked out 2.5, just the same way as the widow pick, just the same way you marked out the widow pick. You also be doing that for the low tempo airline, but in this time you'll be connecting in a different pattern. I still did the same pattern, 2.5, taking the midpoint, marking out 3/4 inch, but this time around you'll be connecting in a different pattern. Now this is the same method I'm still using. At 2.5, I marked out 3/4 inch. Now we're connecting it now in a different pattern, as you can see. So now from the 2.5 inch of the other ends, you connect it to the 2.5 inch, to the 2 inch of the other end, as you can see. You try to form probably like a C. It should not pop out. Then you also connect from that point over to the 2.5 inch. That's the midpoint of the 2.5 inch, which you've marked out by 3/4 or half inch out from the midpoint. Then you connect in this pattern, as you can see. So this is what the drafting of the low tempo pick hairline looks like. So you can decide to draw any pattern based on your preference, like I said. So this is what the low tempo pick hairline looks like. You also connect to the other end, and now we are done with the low tempo pick hairline, and here is what it looks like. Thank you for watching this video to the end. You're the real MVP, guys. Please don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel. Love you all.